At first glance, Nora Bennett seemed to have the kind of life most people wanted. A small house in Portland, a job at a marketing firm, a charming fiancé who never stopped talking about how lucky he was to have her. But sometimes perfection is a mask, and Nora's life was one she didn't realize was being rewritten before her eyes. When she first met Ethan Wells, he was magnetic. A quiet, intelligent man who worked in IT, always listening more than he spoke. He remembered details: the name of her childhood dog, her favorite coffee order, the story about how she used to write poetry. He was attentive, thoughtful, and most of all, he made her feel safe. The first time she told her friends about him, she said, "He's different. He really gets me." But Ethan didn't just get her. He studied her. It began with small things. He'd say, "You look tired this morning, did you sleep?" Or, "Are you sure you didn't leave the oven on? I smell something." And Nora would second-guess herself. She'd rush back home on her lunch break, only to find the oven cold, the house fine. He'd smile when she returned. "See? You worry too much. You should trust me." Soon, her confidence began to crumble. She started losing things: her car keys, her phone charger, her credit card. Then they'd show up in strange places: under the bed, in the freezer, inside her purse. Ethan would tease her about being forgetful. When she'd say, "I swear I didn't put that there," he'd chuckle softly, like a parent correcting a child. "Nora, you really need to get organized. You've been so stressed lately." That tone, calm, measured, always made her feel small. But the worst part wasn't what he did to her things. It was what he did to her mind. He began correcting her memory of events. One day, she mentioned a trip they'd taken to the coast. Ethan frowned. "Nora, we didn't go to the coast that weekend. You must be thinking of something else." She blinked, confused. "Yes, we did. I have pictures." He shook his head. "Check your phone." When she did, the photos were gone. He told her she must have deleted them. And for the first time, she wondered if she really had. The gaslighting continued, quiet, methodical. He'd move her alarm clock ahead by an hour, then act annoyed when she woke him early. He'd send texts, then delete them, insisting she imagined them. And every time she questioned him, he'd sigh and say, "You always twist things, Nora. You need help." It worked. Slowly, Nora began doubting her own sanity. By the time they got engaged, she barely recognized herself. Her friends noticed the change. She stopped showing up to dinners, stopped calling. When her best friend, Kayla, confronted her, Nora defended Ethan. "You don't understand him. He's trying to help me. I've not been myself lately." Kayla looked her in the eyes and said softly, "That's because he's making sure you don't know who you are anymore." The turning point came one rainy night in November. Ethan had gone out to get groceries. Nora was folding laundry when she heard a buzzing sound from under the couch. It was a phone, but not hers. She picked it up. The screen lit up with a message. "Unknown number. She believes everything. Nice work." Her stomach dropped. She scrolled through the messages, hundreds of them. Conversations between Ethan and someone named M. They joked about the experiment, about breaking her down, about how long it would take before she snapped. Every word made her hands tremble harder. She realized her life wasn't just being controlled, it was being studied. When Ethan returned, she confronted him. He froze. Then, his expression changed, calm again, smiling. "Nora," he said softly, "you're not well. You're hallucinating again." He reached. She stepped back. "Don't do this," he whispered. "You'll embarrass yourself." For a moment, she almost believed him again. But then she looked at the phone, at her trembling hands, at her reflection in the screen, and she saw the truth. He wasn't trying to save her. He was trying to erase her. She ran. Nora drove to Kayla's house barefoot, sobbing, shaking. When she showed her the messages, Kayla called the police immediately. It turned out Ethan had multiple complaints filed against him by former girlfriends. None had stuck because of lack of evidence. But this time, they had proof. During questioning, Ethan showed no emotion. He claimed Nora was unstable and obsessive. He told police she'd fabricated everything to ruin his reputation. But when detectives searched his home office, they found a hidden hard drive filled with voice recordings, videos, and notes detailing his experiments on multiple women. He'd been manipulating them for years, not out of passion, but curiosity. He called it behavioral testing. In court, Nora testified. Her voice trembled, but she refused to be silent. Ethan avoided her eyes the whole time. The prosecutor asked her one question: "What made you realize you weren't crazy?" She smiled through tears and said, "When I stopped believing his voice and started trusting mine, Ethan was sentenced to 10 years in prison." Nora spent months in therapy, learning to rebuild her sense of self. For a long time, she couldn't look in mirrors, afraid she'd see the reflection of the woman he made her believe she was. But slowly, she found herself again. A year later, she started a podcast called Gaslight, a space for survivors of psychological abuse to share their stories. It grew rapidly, reaching thousands across the country. Her tagline became a quiet declaration of strength. "You're not crazy, you're controlled, and you can take it back." Today, Nora speaks at universities, helping others recognize the warning signs she once missed. And every time she steps on stage, her voice doesn't shake anymore. Because the man who said she was crazy was wrong. She was never crazy. She was surviving. And now she's free.